Good morning, everyone. How you doing? Hi, Chris, Fong, Janna. So good to be with you all here. Let's see, I think a couple more people are on the waiting room here. Fong, is that your new dog?
My housemate's dog called Bandit.
Bandit, of course, that's his name. Such a cool dancing dog.
Good morning.
All right. Good morning, Janna. How are you?
Pretty good. Woke
Welcome.
up early. The time change is helping me go to bed early. I went to bed
What's
at like
that?
9 last. I went to bed at 9 last night and woke up at 6. It's good to be back on an early schedule.
9.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's so dark now that it's easy to go to bed late or early and wake up early.
Yeah.
All my housemates did the same. We're all synced up on an early schedule now.
That's so good. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Courtney, welcome.
Fernando, hey.
It's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad I could catch this class. I'm really excited.
I'm excited too. To everyone here, Chris, good morning. How are you in Tennessee? I love the background that Chris got going on there.
If it can't be in real time, then we'll make it happen some other way.
I mean, it does look like Tennessee a little bit. The palm tree.
Yeah, completely.
It's identical.
I left Key West and I brought it with me.
Wonderful. We got a couple more people coming in. Good morning, Raina.
Hey,
How are you?
doing so great. How are you?
Doing great as well. How's
Good.
Craig?
He's doing well. He's doing a conference for our Schoolie Mitchell franchise. So he's in the other room listening.
Good. That's amazing. I love how he can multitask, do 2 things at once. I love how you and him create the best team I've seen in a long time.
How sweet. Thank you. I know we are good together.
Very inspiring. As I coach people in relationships, I tell them about you and Craig. So pretty soon you're going to be getting calls like saying, hey, Fernando said I should talk with you. And how to get 13 kids.
How sweet.
In less than is it 10 years? Like you guys have 13 kids that were born within 10 years, or how many years?
Yep, we have 13 kids and we've been married 4 years.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna have to do some background and explaining that one
today. Miracles do happen. Miracles do occur.
Are you the octomom? Did you shoot at 8 at one time?
No.
Well, no. I had 6 from a previous marriage, and Craig had 7 from 2 previous marriages. So yeah. So we actually have like 4 bloodlines in our family because Craig was married twice. Mm-hmm. From his first marriage, he adopted his son, who was a nephew, started life as his nephew, but they adopted him. And then in his second marriage, they were 2 kids that she had previously. And then I have my 6. So, and then he has his other 4 from his first marriage. So we have 4 bloodlines, but they're all ours. So yeah.
That's a Hollywood movie right there. Like,
I know.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
It really is.
It's fun.
So
Hi,
fun.
Lisa.
Hi.
Welcome, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Everyone say hi, Lisa. 1, 2, 3.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Wonderful. Richard, welcome. If you can unmute, go ahead and unmute. If you can be on camera, be on camera.
Hi.
How's it going?
About 5 minutes, which is why I went off camera on mute.
Wonderful. I didn't catch that first part there. Where are you reaching us from?
Luxembourg in Europe, and I'm just collecting my 2 kids from school, and then I'll be at my desktop in about 10 minutes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Looking forward to you being back. That's amazing. You just made this event an international class.
Awesome. Love it. Love it.
Awesome. Cool. All right. I'll see you soon, Richard.
Thank you.
Wonderful, everyone. So good to see everyone's faces this morning. Today we have a class. Who wants to have a class?
Yeah, let's have a class.
Let's have a class. Okay.
Let's do it.
And now we can do this in a serious way or in a fun way. Which way would you like it to be?
Fun.
You got two. Okay.
Serious.
How about a
Fong
seriously
wants
funny
serious?
way?
There
I
you
want
go.
seriously funny.
It's seriously funny.
Yeah.
I like that reframe. So it's going to be very serious. It's very seriously funny. So shall we begin with a introduction? Let's do an introduction real quick. Your name, where you from, and why you're here. Let's start with Fong.
Hey guys, I'm Fong. I am I'm here because first of all, Fernando has been a big blessing in my life. He's made a big difference during really rough times in my life. And yeah, I'm here to, just experience him. I've seen him make amazing, just strides in progress in just in healing and in just his work. And he has just he has so much like extensive experience that I actually want to personally experience. And I have a background as an ambassador, so I want to see how I can who might be able to benefit from this. And so thanks, Fernando, for inviting me in.
Welcome. You're welcome, brother. Thank you. So good to see you here. I know you're busy, so it's good to be in the same room with you. Chris, where you from and why you here?
Well, I'm currently in Tennessee. That changes all the time. So, I am here to learn how to, release negative emotions. So,
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Janna.
All right, my name is Janna Melissa. I am originally from Las Vegas, been living in San Diego for the last 5 years or so. And I had a conversation with Fernando last week about a difficult like emotional state that I've been going through, kind of related to like world events. And I wasn't really aware that his work could help with that. So I'm kind of just like curious to like learn more about how his how his process works. And I've heard him talk a lot about it, but I've never really experienced one of these demos. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it works and experiencing the magic.
Wonderful. Glad you're here, Janna. Courtney.
Hello, I'm Courtney, and I live in Orlando, Florida. And I know Fernando. We actually did trainings together and were introduced to some of this work together around the same time. And I found it for myself extremely powerful, and Fernando to be extremely powerful. And I saw he was running these classes, and I wanted to take the opportunity to actually, sit back as a client rather than a practitioner and have Fernando kind of Jesus take the wheel and run us through because it's extremely powerful. And Fernando adds his own experience and flair and purpose to everything he does. So I just figured this was a perfect time and a perfect place to be.
Oh, Courtney, thank you so much. Courtney is one of those people that I've been wanting to connect for months now, because every time I see her texts in our group chat for the practitioners of NLP, her texts are usually the ones that are most profound.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here.
I'm excited to be here.
Raina.
Well, thanks, Fernando. I want to thank you for inviting me. So I'm Raina LeDuc, and I live in St. George, Utah. I'm originally from California, but I've lived in Nevada, and now I'm in Utah. So I'm just moving my way east, I guess. I don't know. So And I am here to learn and to grow and to be present and to feel and experience that releasing of negative emotions. So I am present to that, present to Fernando's care and service. And thank you so much.
Thank you for being here, Raina. Lisa.
Hello, I'm Lisa. I'm originally from Belarus, but I live in San Diego. And I've been to a few Fernando's classes. It's been great. And today I'm hoping to learn to cope with negative emotions better.
Wonderful.
It would be great.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. Let's see. Richard's still muted, so we'll wait for him. Sarah. Welcome, Sarah. If you can unmute and be on camera, we are doing introductions. And if you can't, we'll do them later. Awesome. So it's 8:13, 8:13. So we did introductions. Can anyone guess what comes next? Exactly. We're going to do, we did introductions and we did goals too. We did targets. So everyone declared their targets, their goals. We're going to do a meditation. And I see some of you already getting ready for it. So we're going to be meditating for about 5 to 10 minutes. So get comfortable. And welcome, Sarah. I can see you now. How are you?
Good. Sorry, I wanted to grab a quick cup of coffee right now.
No.
So I just got that. I'm ready to go.
Good. Okay, yes, that's very important. Did you get anyone else want coffee? Because now I want coffee. Sarah, you just, okay. Janna has
I could totally go for
coffee.
a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Drink it
Awesome.
for me.
Yeah, please. Yeah, we want to experience that too. Yeah, that's a cup of coffee smells really nice right now. Where are you reaching out us from, Sarah?
I'm in Southern California at a city called San Marino, which is close to Pasadena, or I don't know if other people know the area, but I'm close to Los Angeles, about 9 miles.
Yeah, close to Los Angeles. Awesome. And how did you hear about this class?
So I saw your announcement about it. I was here last week, but I couldn't turn on my camera. I was somewhere where I couldn't turn it on. Do you remember?
So you experienced this class last week with Raina, and yes, I remember. You could not turn your camera on. How was that? How was the class last week?
Yeah, it worked for me.
It did.
Yeah.
Yes. It worked. Wonderful.
Well, I'm here for more.
You're here for more. Okay. So you're here for more. I guess that's why you're here. Here for more. Wonderful. Glad to have you. And glad it worked for you. So let's get comfy. We're going to be meditating for a few minutes. I'm going to start with, and when I say meditating, all you need to do is just close your eyes. I'm going to start with 4 deep breaths. And when we exhale, we're going to exhale, ha. Let's start the first deep breath together. One more. Excellent. Continue breathing normally. Start feeling the air around your face, around your hands. Notice the air coming in and out of your nose. Relaxing. Any sounds you may hear besides my voice, it could be dings, beeps, alarms, fire trucks, any sounds besides my voice will allow you only to relax even deeper into your meditation. If there's any part of your body that needs relaxation, tell that part to relax. You can start with your toes, your feet. Notice your left foot, and tell it to relax. Same with the right foot. Just tell it to relax. And go ahead and do that body scanning with any other parts. Could be in the neck. Could be the jaw. And if you are already completely relaxed and you have a mantra or a prayer, you may begin now. If you don't, simply notice the air coming in and out of your nose. And we're going to be here for a few minutes. Notice the right corner of your mouth And if you can, raise it ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. And if you'd like, do so on the other corner of your mouth. Raise it ever so slightly and continue the meditation. Now, we're going to do an exercise. This is a really good exercise. It's going to be about forgiveness. Some of you may already have done this exercise, and for some of you, this will be your first time. It's a very simple exercise. Some people have experienced forgiveness in levels that have completely improved their lives. And that's why we're going to do a short forgiveness exercise. I'd like for you to bring to your mind's eye anyone that you feel or you think you should forgive. And that could include yourself. So invite the memory of that person to your mind's eye. It could be a parent, it could be a child, it could be a past relationship, it could be a current relationship. If it is yourself that you like to forgive, I'd like for you to invite the memory of that self to your mind's eye. And now make that picture sharper, brighter. Notice the hair of the person. Notice their ears. Notice their eyes. Notice their shirt or dress. Notice their clothing. Notice their shoes. You're inviting the memory of that person that you want to forgive. It's going to be a very simple exercise. If it is you that you're forgiving, have that picture be a caricature or a symbol, however your clothing is or your facial expression, your skin color. Let it represent that moment when something happened that you now want to forgive. And I'd like for you to zoom in to that person's face. Notice their nose. And I'd like for you to now start morphing their nose to your nose. Their eyes to your eyes. And if you're forgiving yourself, you are morphing their nose and their eyes to the eyes of you being whole, perfect, and complete. Whatever that means to you. This is an unconscious process. Trust the process. Trust your unconscious mind. Continue morphing the nose, the eyes, the forehead. Their forehead becomes your forehead. Their cheekbones become your cheekbones. Their mouth becomes your mouth. The morphing continues throughout the entire head. If you want to have fun, keep their hair. That could be fun. The neck becomes your neck. Their arms become your arms. If you want to even have more fun, keep their clothing. And their legs become your legs. And keep their shoes just for kicks. And now notice that memory is you. That's you have just forgiven. That all forgiveness is self-forgiveness. And it's a gift you can give yourself anytime. Anytime you feel any emotions come up that are less than aligned with your values, you can do this quick exercise. You imagine yourself or the person you want to forgive, and you simply start morphing into them, into the memory you have of them. And what you're doing is you're healing your perception. You're healing your perception of them. And at a meta level, you're healing your perception of your projection. For those of you who understand that you project your universe, you project your world, you will understand this. That you are a cause at all times of what you project and what you get to create from your projections. So feel free to play with this. It's a tool you can use at any time. Allow your physical body to integrate the changes done at the mental and emotional bodies. And let's take 4 deep breaths to come out of this exercise. Let's take 1 deep breath together. One more. Excellent. continue to breathe normally. Move your toes, move your fingers, move the corners of your lips, up and down. And slowly start opening your eyes. Slowly start opening your eyes and back into the room. Back to now whenever you're ready. Welcome back, Richard.
Thank you.
We just finished meditation.
You all look very peaceful and relaxed.
Yeah. So as you, anyone wants to share what your experience was from that exercise? Sarah.
So while I was doing that exercise, I couldn't decide at the beginning, should I forgive myself or should I forgive the other person? And then I decided, well, it's really hard to morph myself into myself, so I'll pick the other person. And then as I was doing the exercise, I realized the reason I was holding on to this and not completely able to forgive is because I wasn't able to forgive myself. It's almost like I was holding on to it because I was angry at myself for what happened. But it did help because it made me realize that I wasn't actually holding on to the anger about the other person. I was angry more at myself for allowing that to happen to me.
Is that something that, so how's the anger now?
It's almost like something, it's more of a thing instead of something internal. It's something outside of me now.
Something outside of you, okay.
It
Wonderful.
doesn't have as much emotion to it.
Wonderful. Excellent. Is that something that you'd like to release during the release part of the class?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Wonderful. Anyone else? Thank you, Sarah, for sharing. Anyone else like to share what their experience was? Wonderful. Okay. Oh, is that a hand, Chris?
Oh, I was just moving my headset, but I have a hard time visualizing, and I was attempting to forgive myself, and I couldn't visualize details about me, and I realized that if I actually put someone else there, that maybe I could visualize details better and easier, so I may try that next time.
Yes, definitely. And Chris, regarding visualizing, would you like to visualize better?
I don't see anything.
You don't see anything. Okay.
I'm my artistic area is not I don't have that creativity. I'm more of a performance artist and physical dance and performing and that sort of stuff. I'm not I can't draw or do crafts or that sort of stuff, and so I don't have that ability. I've not created that ability. I don't know. I just I have a hard. I don't see anything when I attempt to visualize. There's literally nothing there.
Okay.
And I can't pull out details.
Okay. What is the emotion that you like to release today?
Fear.
Fear. Okay. We'll get to that. Anyone else before we start the release?
Yeah, I was also struggling a little bit to visualize the morphing of the other person. Like, I guess I just wasn't exactly sure, like, if I was doing it right. But I mean, I think I just did the best I could. But it's kind of like I guess I had trouble, like, not just imagining the other person. Like, I would imagine like their shirt and their shoes, but like the morphing, I wasn't exactly. I was struggling a little bit to visualize that morphing process.
Okay. Could you see their face at all?
I could see their face, but I just didn't know like how to morph their face with mine.
Okay, good. Let's give feedback. That's something that I can definitely change for the next class. I'll add a couple of steps to the practice so that it makes it easier for the morphing to occur. Did anyone have an experience with the morphing where they felt a shift or they felt some? Sarah, okay.
I think I felt the shift, even though I wasn't sure if I was doing it right. I did feel a shift anyways. So maybe it worked. I just wasn't sure if I was doing it right.
Okay, so not sure if you're doing right. Got it.
So when you said, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead, Sarah.
When you said whatever that means to you, I think I can't remember if that's the way you said it, but whatever way that it means to you, the process, then I felt like I had permission to do it whichever way it came to me.
That's wonderful. Yes.
I felt like I was just kind of like having fun with the process too. Like, I found myself just like smiling during it, but maybe that's also because I feel like I need the release work. Like, I recognize that I just want to release my emotions, not so much like I'm angry at another person for doing something. It's like I recognize that maybe they triggered an emotion in me that I would like to release, but it's not so much like I'm angry at them. That makes sense. So maybe that's why I was like smiling or just enjoying the process more.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And what is the emotion you like to release today?
Fear as well, I guess.
Fear as well.
But that's not what I guess that's not, because you said something about, in the last exercise, you said something about imagining like something that you'd like to forgive. So that I came up with something different than what my original, so I'm not sure if I should release something related to what we just visualized.
Okay. So here's that's a good segue into the unconscious mind conversation. So let's talk about the unconscious mind or the parasympathetic system. The unconscious mind it keeps your body alive. It keeps your heart beating. Does anyone here? Well, I'll just go straight to the point for sake of time. 20 more minutes. Your heart has been beating for as long as you've been alive. That mind that keeps your heart beating, we'll call it unconscious mind or subconscious. It does everything it can so that your body is performing at its best. The conscious mind is the commentator. It's sometimes we use it in this class. So sometimes I'm using my conscious mind, sometimes you're answering from your conscious mind. And for the following exercise, the release work, we're going to be working with the unconscious mind as much as possible. So this might be new for some of you, and for others, it might be familiar. And some of you may have heard that the conscious mind can process about 100 bits of information per second. That's 100. And the unconscious mind can process up to 11 million bits of information per second. So if you can compare 100 bits of information per second processing power to 11 million bits of information processing power. Which mind would you like to use to make decisions or to do any type of work? The unconscious mind, when you have a relationship that's beside the physical, because it does the physical, keeps the body running, the lungs, the blood, the digestive system. That mind you can trust. It has done everything it can to keep you alive all the years you've been here. So we're going to be asking questions of that mind today. So for instance, we're going to ask questions such as the root cause. What's the root cause? The first event, which might be in this lifetime or might be passed down genealogically. And the reason we ask this of the unconscious mind is that it's impossible for the conscious mind to know what the root cause is. It can't process, it can't have that memory. It's not its job. Its job is to make comments, make life interesting. So let's do an exercise for those of you so that everyone's on the same page. I know for some of you this is very basic, and for others this will be very helpful. So I'd like for you to choose a number between 1 and 10 and just shout it out.
9.
7.
7.
10 and 100.
80.
53.
100 and 1,000.
1,000.
900.
500.
1,000 and 10,000.
85.
1,300.
10,000 and
7,312.
100,000.
100,000.
312,359.
Good. So just like that, first answer that comes to mind, we're going to say that that answer is coming from the unconscious mind. So when I ask you, what's the root cause, the first event? Was it before, during, or after your birth? You're not going to think about it. You're just going to either interpret, feel what the answer is, and you're going to interpret it, whether it's a feeling, a thought, a sensation, a sound. You're just going to open. You're not going to say audibly, but you're just going to choose it. And you're going to translate that into your conscious mind language. And then we're going to do the release work, which is, we're going to do that on a timeline. So we just talked about the unconscious mind. Now we're going to talk about the timeline. I'd like for you to think of your memories, everything that happened in the past, as a linear, as a line, as a sequential line of events. And I'd like for you to, with your finger, with your hand, point to where that line would be. If you were to stretch that line, would it be in front of you, behind you, to the left, to the right, to the side? Go ahead and point. Where's your past? Go ahead. Where's your past? Now, where's your future? Good. So it looks like everyone has their past and has their future. Wonderful. So we talked about the unconscious mind. We talked about the timeline. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to float above your timeline with your eyes closed and go to the root cause. And it's going to be an unconscious process. There's no way your conscious mind can process this. So you will go ahead and put your hand on your heart. Let's make this a kinesthetic exercise for now. And feel your heart beating. And when I ask you to ask your unconscious mind for questions, you can imagine that the answers are coming from your heart. It can be coming from anywhere. This heart has been working for how many thousands of days? It has your best interest in mind. So when he gives you an answer, just go with it. It's not conscious. There's no way you can remember what the root cause is. Excellent. So for today's release, can we be on the same page and release fear? That'd be okay?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, getting nods. Okay, good. Excellent.
Do we need to have a specific like event in mind, or just that emotion, fear?
Great question. Thank you. I'd like for you to get either a piece of paper or a Google Doc, something. Write 1, 2, 3 significant emotional events.
Sorry, what do we write?
What's that?
I didn't hear you. What do we write?
1, 2, 3 significant emotional events, SEE, significant emotional events that happened in this lifetime that have to do with fear. So those are the big events that you actually remember. And you're writing this 1, 2, 3 significant emotional events regarding fear, around fear, so that after the release work, we can test how much of the fear is released on the significant events that you remember. So go ahead and write 1, 2, or 3 significant emotional events that happened after your birth. Notice that these events are not the root cause. The root cause will be given to you by your unconscious mind. We're not going to release these events directly. We're going to release the first event, which when released will allow you to release all subsequent events as well. Does everyone have at least 1 or 2 or 3?
Yeah.
Okay, getting some nods. Awesome. Excellent. Okay. So let's get in a comfortable position. We're gonna start the release work. And it's gonna be very simple. It will be, for some of us, it'll be fun. For some of us, it'll be very peaceful. And if you want to hang on to your fear longer, you can. However, that's not why you're here. I'd like for you to close your eyes. Is it all right with your unconscious mind for you to be free of the fear today, and for you to be aware of it consciously? Go ahead and nod if that's a yes. Wonderful. What is the root cause of this fear? The first event, which when disconnected, will cause the fear to disappear. If you were to know, was it before, during, or after your birth? First thing that comes to mind, if it was before, was in the womb or before? If it was in the womb, what month? If it was before, was it past life or passed down to you genealogically? If it was past life, how many lifetimes ago? If it was genealogical, how many generations ago? If it was after your birth, what age were you? First thing that comes to mind, just pick a number. What's the root cause of the fear, the first event, which when disconnected, will cause the fear to disappear? If you were to know, was it before, during, or after your birth? If it was before, was it in the womb or before? If it was in the womb, what month? If it was before, was it past life or passed down to you genealogically? If it was past life, how many lifetimes ago? Genealogical, how many generations ago? Just pick a number. If it was after your birth, what age were you? Just go ahead and pick a number. Go ahead and raise one of your hands if you have the root cause. Excellent. Excellent. Stay in the exercise. Keep your eyes closed. Now I'd like for you to just float above your timeline. That timeline that you noticed before. Float above your timeline and start floating towards the past. Facing the past. And start heading towards the event. So you're directly above the event and you're looking down on the event. And when you're there, raise your hand. Excellent. So what you're doing is you're floating towards the past to the event. So you are above the event, looking down on the event. Ask your unconscious mind what it needs to learn from the event, the learning of which will allow you to let go of the fear easily and effortlessly. Your unconscious mind can preserve the learnings so that if you need them in the future, they'll be there. Just go ahead in your mind. Tell your unconscious mind to preserve the learnings. Excellent. Now I'd like for you to float down inside of the event, looking through your own eyes. And when you're there, notice the motion that's present. We're going to be here just for a little bit. We're about to release. Just getting you associated just a little bit before you let go of this emotion. And now, I'd like for you to float up above your timeline, face the past, and start floating towards the past to a position well before the beginning of the event or any of the events that led to that event. So you're floating towards the past to a position well before the beginning of the event or any of the events that led to that event. And turn and look toward now. So the event is in front of you and below you. And tell your unconscious mind to preserve the learnings. So if you need them in the future, they'll be there. For some of you, you may notice that you want to start floating higher and further back, allowing the emotion to release. Start floating higher and farther back. And allow the emotion to release. What is there to have learned from this event? The learning of which will allow you to easily let go of the fear. Won't it be better to preserve the learnings than the emotion? If you let go of the fear and the emotions and preserve the learnings, you will have learned what you needed. Keep floating higher and farther back until the emotion releases now. Not letting go of this emotion is in direct conflict with the highest prime directive of the unconscious mind, which is to preserve the body. This emotion, though getting results, does not preserve the body. It hurts the body. Wouldn't it be better to let go of the repressed emotion and get the same results in some other way? Keep floating higher and farther back, allowing the emotion to completely release. Now. Now, where's the emotion? Where did it go? Did it release completely? I'd like for you to now float right down into the event and notice what happened to the emotion. Where is it? Is the emotion totally gone? Is there a little bit left? If there's any little bit left, I'd like for you to float back to the position where you were. So you head towards the past to a position well before the beginning of that event. Turn towards now and start floating higher and farther back until the motion completely disappears. I see some smiles. If you're still working, just tell your unconscious mind to preserve the learnings. By you preserving the learnings, you allow the emotion to completely release. Excellent. Now float down into the event and notice that the emotion has either reduced or disappeared. So float down inside of the event, looking through your own eyes. Notice your relationship to the memory. Notice that you can remember the memory and that you don't have to have the emotion attached to it. You can simply release it. Excellent. Now, I'd like for you to float above your timeline and come back to now. Only as quickly as you can let go of all of the fear on the events, all the way back to now, with each subsequent event, like a domino effect. because we did this at the very first event, the root cause, it will allow all subsequent events to also release the fear. Preserve the learnings and let go of the fear all the way back to now. Allowing all of those learnings to be preserved on all of the subsequent events. Releasing all of the fear on your timeline, on your memories. Floating back to now on your timeline, like a domino effect. You can come as fast as you like. You may take your time. For some of you, this might be the first time you are traveling on your timeline. And you can do this whenever you like. You can ask your unconscious mind for the root cause, the first event. You can float into it, then above it, then behind it. Release the root cause and then float all the way back to now, preserving the learnings. Excellent. Keep floating all the way back to now and flow down into now and come back into the room. Come back into the room. Move your feet, your hands. Does anyone smell popcorn? No? Smiles. Okay, one hand went up. Okay, good.
It's too early in the
Part of the
day.
exercise.
Yeah. We're required to ask a question to break state, and that's one question that my teacher asked. So I just kept the same question. That was a big one, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we test? Can we do a really quick test? Let's go ahead and get your notes. Look at the significant emotion events and tell me what's the relationship you have with those events now.
Calmer.
Calmer.
Mm-hmm.
Mine shifted to being more like fun, like a kind of like a fun challenge or a game.
Okay. Awesome. Wonderful. Fun, challenge, game, calmer.
I feel a sense of detachment, like physical or maybe, physical detachment from that emotion, being a lot further away from it as opposed to being kind of in it.
Physical detachment. Wonderful. Instead of being in it. I realized that we're 6 minutes over. I will release some baggage regarding being late after the session. So we are on time for next class. Let's see. Anyone else wants to share before we close the next 2 minutes? Yes, Raina.
I would say I can look at it now as an event, not as a trauma. Like it was just something that happened and it's like, okay, I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense. It was an event. It's an event.
I have something to share real quick.
Yeah.
I had a glimpse of something. I went back so far, I felt myself back before I was born, like before I had any lives at all. It was just white light. And then
Cool.
when I was thinking about the event, I imagined myself, just this thought came up. I imagined myself taking a bow like it was just a performance. It wasn't real.
Wow. Wow.
Like it's not really my life. Whatever happened then.
I'm getting goosebumps. Wow. That's
I could
wonderful.
share real quick. I had kind of a similar experience. Mine was like 5 generations ago. I didn't really know what the event was, but when you said to go down into the event, I felt like a really intense emotion of like being in danger, maybe like some kind of war or something like that. But then when I went back to it, it was almost like I was like dancing and having fun. And even though, but like I don't know if that's like actually, like how the fight or flight response is supposed to keep us safe. So maybe some fear is like healthy, but being able to approach like dangerous situations with an attitude of like this is a challenge and like it can be fun, I guess, even if it was a real, I don't know what the event was, but it could have been real danger. But just being able to like release that fear of like danger or panic, I think is really helpful.
Yeah, I saw your face when we're going into the event, and that's why I said we're gonna be here for just a little bit. We're just getting connected to associated with emotion, so that the more associated we are, the more effective the release is. So awesome, great work. So you went from being like could have been a war to now having fun.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Okay, let's future pace real quick. Go ahead and close your eyes, and I want you to go out into the future to any time in the future, which, if this emotion had happened in the past, you'd have had or felt inappropriate or unwarranted fear. See, there is appropriate fear, and here we're talking about inappropriate fear or unwarranted fear. And notice if you can find that old emotion, or you may find that you cannot. So you're going to any time in the future, to any appropriate time in the future, which if you have had this emotion in the past, you'd have felt inappropriate or unwarranted fear. And notice if you can find that old emotion, or you may find that you cannot. Excellent. Good. Come back to now. Come back into the room. Wonderful. So let's conclude our class. It's 10 minutes over. Next class will end on time. Any questions? Fong, Janna, Lisa, Rich, Courtney, Sarah, Raina, Chris. Any questions?
I guess I'll ask a question. So when you just did that last thing, I noticed mind shift. I think you know how there's a fight, flight, or freeze. I realized my previous response was like freeze, like freezing up in this like danger and panic. And then I felt like an appropriate fight response, like whatever the future event is, I'm fighting, I'm a warrior, and I'm like taking the challenge head on, but I'm not like freezing up like as if I'm like an inappropriate or unwarranted like freeze response. I don't know if that's really a question, but yeah, you can say something about that if you want.
That's amazing. So how's that different from before?
Because before it was like whatever the situation was, I was like freezing up, like feeling the danger in an excessive amount, like my life is ending, or this is like just an excessive freeze response. Whereas like I guess the fear or the sympathetic response is still activated when appropriate, but instead of being like so much shifted to like the freeze, like freezing up in danger and panic and like almost feeling suffocated by these emotions of fear, like instead a healthy level of fear to propel me towards like action and fighting as necessary if there's a difficult event in the future. Yeah. Like feeling prepared to take on whatever challenges come up.
Wow. Sounds amazing.
Thank you.
It's like a big win. Woo!
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's conclude our class for my name is Fernando Lopez. It's been an honor to co-create this with you today. This is very fun for me. I hope it was fun for you too, or whatever word is more appropriate for you having your ideal day or ideal release session. If you like more people to experience this, share the link with family and friends. I'll take good care of them, just like how I took good care of you. For those of you who want to go deeper, I do offer private sessions. I do offer the Game of Life program, which is a 1-year program where for the first month, all we do is this type of work, is releasing. And we do that for a whole for 4 weeks, because the unconscious mind is only going to give to you the root cause of the event that it feels it can give to you. It won't give you the root cause of something if it feels like, oh, you're not ready for it. Because if it surfaces something that you're not ready for it, you may not be able to do your day to day. So one of the jobs of the unconscious mind is to suppress emotions, so you can go about your day. And it suppresses the emotions so that you can say hi to your neighbor, or you can say hi to your spouse, and you can be with your kids. And so the more you do this type of work, the more your unconscious mind is going to trust you to give you more baggage for you to release. And after the first time, it just gets easier and easier. It just gets faster, and gets to a point where 4 weeks is enough to release baggage. And then you only get new baggage if you are growing. If you get in a new relationship, or you end a relationship, or you want to improve a relationship or a business, if you're growing, you're going to get new baggage, and it's time for celebration after those 4 weeks. And then for the month 2 to month 12, we play a game called the Game of Life, where you get to design the game you want to play. So if anyone is interested in learning more, shoot me a text or an email. This has been an honor. It's like, it's amazing to do this with you. And now you have shifted not only your timeline, you have shifted the timeline for the people that are in your lives. You're going to show up differently. They're going to experience you differently. You're projecting differently. So you are affecting generations. You're doing your work, and you're affecting your kids, your spouse, your coworkers, your employees, your bosses, your neighbors. It's a domino effect, and I'm so happy that you chose to be here to co-create this. It's truly teamwork, and we live on the same planet, so it's good for us. So invite your loved ones, friends, to come take other classes. And I have so much love for you. Know that you're whole, perfect, and complete. And if you disagree with me, then I'm going to ask you, what would you like to release, so that you agree that you are whole, perfect, and complete. Again, my name is Fernando Lopez, signing out. Much love to you. See you next time in class.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank
Bye,
you.
guys. Thanks for
Thank you,
having me.
Fernando. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Fernando. Peace.